All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. Now tuning into episode 2 of season 4. Back here with my guy Michael. Man, what's going on?
Nothing much, man. I mean, watching some sports, but I'm ready to get back into this.
Back into it. We got another fun, exciting show. So let's jump straight into it. Starting
Let's
off
do
with
it.
MLB. Haven't done much baseball talk in a while. So obviously, let's start off with the biggest topic right now in the MLB world. We got the trade deadline approaching. Biggest topic is Juan Soto possibly wanting out of the Nationals in Washington. He turned down a 15-year contract extension for $440 million. So, biggest question is, do you think that he really wants out, or is he just wanting more money?
I think he wants out, Chris, and let me tell you why. I mean, you don't turn down 15, well, 440 million dollars or 15 every other day, right? I think he wants out. I think we talked about this in the past. Soto was part of that team with the Nationals, right? When they won the World Series. That was what 2, 3 years ago,
Yeah, I
four.
think it was like no more than three.
Yeah, so I mean, he was probably what 19 at that time,
Yeah.
19, 20,
Yep.
right? So I mean, I think he still has like 10 years of prime in my opinion, right? Um, and I think he just wants either he wants more money or he'll take that same contract from a contending team at the moment. Last time I checked, um, I think his agent is like Scott Boris or whatever his name is, but he has like a lot of profile clients, and I think Boris has like he also has like season tickets for the Dodgers, you
Oh,
know.
really?
So yeah, I didn't know that. So from last thing I checked, there was a four team runner up that were going for Soto, and I think it was the Padres, the Cardinals, the Dodgers, and the Texas Rangers. I think. Um, I don't know if you would take one from the Texas Rangers because I don't. I mean, I'm not so heavily rooted in the MLB right now. I am following the Giants, Giants talk, local radio, and like they're sold high on Soto. They think they can land Soto. What do you think? Do you think Soto can land on the West Coast?
If he's in the West Coast, and I'm not saying this just because I'm a Dodger fan, I don't think it's on the Giants. I feel like the Giants don't have much to offer for him, in terms of prospects like farm system wise.
Right.
Um, and I mean, we saw what happened with Chris Bryant last year. I mean, I certainly didn't expect Chris Bryant to sign in San Francisco, and he did. And obviously, he was a great boost for the team, but they didn't win the playoff game, and he's in Colorado now. So I
That's
mean,
right.
not Colorado. My bad. He was in Colorado before. Yeah, but he's
Isn't
gone.
isn't he with isn't he with the Rockies right now?
Did he go back?
He might be on the injured reserve. No,
No. Uh,
Chris
yes,
Bryant,
Rockies,
bro.
Rockies, Rockies. My fault. He was
Rockies.
he was in Chicago. I don't know. I have brain fart. Yes, he is on the Rockies. Yes, there we go. Um,
He,
yeah, no,
he's
he's
still there.
definitely there. I didn't expect it within the division, and gave him the money. That's what it was.
I don't know, man. I feel like I don't know what the Giants' philosophy is. Like, say you do want to land. Say you're like, okay, we want Soto, right? But like you said, they don't have much of a farm system that they can offer. Offer the Nationals who would accept that trade, and maybe I'm pretty sure the Giants do have the type of money to offer a contract like that to Soto. But the thing is, does he want to come to a team where he's pretty much going to be the only guy? You know, it's like who? Don't tell me Joey Bart or
No.
the Brandons or Wilmer Flores or Yastrzemski
Yeah.
or any of these cats, bro. They're not gonna, they're not enticing me to go to the games. But if you bring a Soto, it would be not much of a rebuild. I think you can still compete. I mean, I think the Giants are like a game behind, or like they're under 500 at now. I think after that 6, 7 game losing streak, and a couple games after the wild card. I don't think they're gonna catch the Dodgers. I'll tell you that right now.
No.
Right? They're like 30 games, like almost 30 games
Yeah.
away.
I think it's close to 20. The last time I checked.
Yeah.
And
So
yeah, they would have to maybe catch the Padres, but yeah, it's looking rough for them.
So say you're Soto. Do you want to come to the Giants, or do you want to go down to a contender like the Dodgers or even the Padres? Like, what would you think? You're a Dodger fan, so what do you think it would be the best case scenario for Juan Soto?
I mean, I think definitely not the Giants. Like I said, I think just real quick before we move on from the best fit for him, I think if you are the Giants, the only two options that you have is Washington is going to want Jock Peterson in exchange, who's like
Right.
your really like your hottest offensive player, and Carlos Rodon, the pitcher, that's who's their ace. It's
Okay.
like that's so like I told I don't know if you saw on Twitter, I put it to Niner Nick because he was like, well, when they got swept by the Dodgers, it's like this is absolutely embarrassing. We need to go all in, put all the chips in and everything you can to get Soto. And I'm like,
Uh,
yeah, I tell him like, dude, Soto doesn't solve your problems. And he doesn't
yeah.
he didn't respond, but there was like one other person, like a random person who was like, yes, he does. And I didn't even take the time of day. So I'm like, I don't even know you. I'm not gonna respond to you. But yeah, like I said, I mean, he's gonna sell tickets, he's gonna fill the seats, and generate revenue for you, and he's gonna put on a show every single night. But that's pretty much what he's doing now in Washington. It's a similar situation. They don't have much offensive star power. Their pitching rotation is terrible. So it's
Yeah.
why is he gonna, move to the West Coast just to do the
That's
same
true.
thing?
Like the Giants don't have much, and that's pretty sus because like the Giants can compete, but you know, Soto's gonna be part of a winning team who's gonna compete year after year. Especially like we mentioned, like he has 10 years of prime left.
Yep.
He's gonna want to compete every year of those 10 years.
Right.
So I don't know. I think the best bet is probably be L.A. or San Diego. I don't think it's the Yankees because the Yankees just got the guy from the Royals,
Yeah.
Benintendi or something like that, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So I think the Yanks are out on Soto. Now I think it's gonna come down to the Padres, Cardinals, Dodgers, and I see here the Texas Rangers too. But I don't even know much about Texas Rangers and how they're doing. But I don't know. I think he's gonna land on the West Coast.
Texas Rangers are a team that is like really trying to be up and coming. They just had money to spend. They gave a whole bunch of money to Corey Seager, which I guess you could say
Right.
rightfully so earned World Series MVP. Um, Marcus Simeon had a great year in Toronto after he left
Mm-hmm.
Oakland, and they gave him a huge bag too. They get I mean, I don't see the Rangers as a team that Soto will choose unless it's maybe
No.
for money. I think right now it's really going to come down to the Dodgers, the San Diego Padres, and I think two sleepers are the Cardinals,
Right.
which I think honestly I think that might be like the favorite,
You
and
think
two
so?
the Seattle Mariners, bro. They have
Oh.
money to spend and they have prospects. So, and that's what the Nationals are going to want. They're going to want a huge haul in return for a guy
Right.
that caliber that they are willing to give almost half a billion
Half a
dollars to,
billion.
and of course they're going to want a huge haul. It's similar to the KD where Minnesota. They asked Minnesota like, hey, let me get five
Right.
first rounders, Cat and whoever else it was. Like they're going to
What if
want something massive.
what if one of these teams offers Soto a shorter amount of years but same money?
That's what it's going to take because one of the biggest things for him too was like, yes, I'm going to be making 440 million. And you got to think like you said, at 23 years old, coming from the Dominican Republic, which is probably came from nothing, and you're
Nothing.
offered almost $500 million to stay where you're at. You already have a home and everything. Won a World
Yeah.
Series there. Um, but the biggest factor for him, one of the biggest factors was that his annual salary will be like mid-table for the league.
Okay, so that's
So
what he was like. No, 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 no.
so for 440 million over 15 years brings them to just over 29 million a year. And
Yeah.
I brought it up here, and that would put him um, at about possibly the 17th highest paid player per year. So right
No,
now
he doesn't want that.
you're sitting with Max Scherzer is making over $43 million a year, and you go down,
Scherzer,
yes, with the
he's
Mets, bro.
high.
The
He's
Mets
the
got money
highest
too,
earner
bro.
right now.
Yes, annually. I don't know about like total
Annually,
contract, but annually.
but annually.
And you got Mike Trout sitting at 37 million a year. Brock Porter, starting pitcher for the Texas Rangers, 19 years old, bro, making $37 million a year. Yeah,
Is he
Anthony.
is he good?
his teammate, bro, that he won a World Series with, Anthony Rendon, sitting at $36 million a year with the LA Angels as the fourth highest paid player. You got Trevor Bauer, bro. We know what he's going through. He's a seventh high, bro. He's earning $35 million a year from the Dodgers right now. So I mean, of course, you got Carlos Correa, his another ex teammate, Steven Strasburg at number 9, exactly $35 million a year. So
So he would be making less than those guys
yes, so right,
if you accepted this. Damn, good
yeah,
thing you broke it down because
you got
now I
Chris
take back
Chris
my.
Sale, who is a pitcher for the Red Sox, World Series champion, having a very very rough year, is making 30
He's
million
like in the
flat.
minors, no,
Yeah, he was in the minors and breaking TVs in the locker rooms and shit, um, making
bro.
30
Okay,
thirty
okay, okay,
million dollars. So
okay.
he
I
would be
think he's
getting
gonna.
paid higher.
So I think Soto's gonna want to be paid more than even Scherzer, bro. I think he's gonna want like I want to get like 50 or 60, close to 70 million a year,
And you got to think
and I might be blowing it out.
I think he'll probably shoot for about 50 million a year, hopefully. You got to think he turned it down, and he straight up flat out said, he thinks he's worth more.
Of course,
He does
look at
that, and what does he do, bro? He goes out and wins the home run derby, bro.
is you could just tell like the type of player he is, bro. The swagger that he brings, you know.
Yep.
At 23, bro, who's the guy who from the Seattle Mariners?
Julio,
Um,
Julio Rodriguez.
Julio Rodriguez, right? Like I was listening to during the home run derby, like Soto was talking about Rodriguez, and he was like, "Yeah, man, the kid is good. He has a bright future." I'm like, "Bro, you're a kid. You're 23, bro." He's talking
Yep.
like a vet, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Oh, you got this." He knows his worth, bro. He
Mm-hmm.
knows his worth. He's got the swagger. You know, he can just turn a franchise around it wherever you put him. So, yeah, I mean, shit. If you got the money, and if it's like same amount of contract, just a shorter amount of years, I
Yep.
mean, I think you got to give it to him, especially
Yeah.
if you got the money. Don't be cheap.
No, definitely not. I mean, everyone is saying right now, like the Dodgers, obviously their farm system is like one of the top ones. I think the Mariners are the top farm system. That's what I'm saying. They could be a sleeper. Um, but everyone's predicting the Dodgers, and while I hope so, I don't know. Like I said, I feel like he's going to land. My top 3 people are going to be that if I had to like bet on it, I would say San Diego, Seattle Mariners, and the St. Louis Cardinals.
Damn. I guess we'll see what happens with Soto.
I mean, the Mets could be a sleeper too. I don't know, but they got a
Yeah,
whole bunch of people they're paying too. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. That's the trade deadline is coming up on the 2nd, bro. So
it's coming
a few days.
next
What?
Tuesday.
Yeah, a few days away. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll see where he lands. The next episode could possibly be talking about the new fit that he's going to be at in his new team. So we'll see what happens.
Right.
You got next up we got Mike Trout, bro. Mike Trout is another huge topic. Can you hear me, bro?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. You got Mike Trout. He's going to be another huge topic, which is dealing with the injury. So he's been on the injured list for I forget how many weeks. And he had like sore ribs, I believe it was. And they thought it was just
Right.
injury that you're going to give him a few days off, bounce back. And it came out that the Angels head trainer discovered something else, which is that he has a long-term injury that he'll be dealing with the rest of his career. Do you think this impacts him for possibly wanting out of Anaheim? Do you think a team is going
I
to be
mean,
willing to take a risk on him?
I think just based off the name, uh, teams will take the risk, and they think that they can probably you can rehab and we can use you for the season. Um, but I think that knowing the type of injury that it is, and it could be you know a career ender, or it's an injury that's going to follow him for the rest of his career.
Mm-hmm.
That could be difficult. I don't know if a team's going to want to bank on a Mike Trout who has like this back issue. If you really notice, like look the way he jumped up the walls to get to catch those balls.
Mm-hmm.
He might not be able to do that anymore.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm even, thinking that he might even go into an early retirement.
I think so too, because I'm reading here the report of that the team doctor said it's a pretty rare condition that he has in his back right now. Um, and the doctor, or it's not the team doctor, the doctor is right, is one of the most well-known spine surgeons in the country, if not the world. He has never seen a lot of these cases. Um, and he said it's for it to happen in a baseball player. You said you have to take into consideration what he puts himself through with hitting and swinging on a daily basis just to get prepared, and then also playing in the outfield, like you mentioned, jumping on the walls, diving for balls, and things like that. And they're going to reevaluate him. He's going to get he had a cortisone shot in his back. They're letting that settle through. They're going to reevaluate him, but I mean, I think this is bad news for Mike Trout, and I think we could see a early retirement. Which is tough, bro, because such an exciting player.
Yeah, it's tough to see him go out like that, not on his own terms.
Right.
It's like, damn, bro, I gotta head out, retire early because of a medical condition. It's gonna be tough to see because he pretty much was the face of the league at one point.
Yep.
So it's gonna be tough. It's one of those injuries where, like, damn, bro, if you don't take care of it, like, you're gonna have severe problems going forward.
Yep.
So I don't know. I think we might be seeing the last of Mike Trout.
Yeah, I mean, sucks to say, bro, because he's only 30 years old. He's 10-time All-Star already. I mean, who knows what else he could have done? What a bigger stage he could have been on if the Angels were like on a bigger stage and actually competing. And now we may never get to see that. If you are in this front office chair, do you take a chance on him personally?
Personally, I would have to do my due diligence. I would have to, like, talk to the doctors, talk to the team doctors, talk to his doctors, talk to him, and I would have to put a clause in a contract to be like, hey man, like, if you don't, if you got to retire due to early, you forfeit this amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I don't want to pay you, but it's like at this point he's kind of more of a liability than an asset.
Yeah.
So, like, no shade on Trout. Like, I know the type of player he is, but if he's not going to be able to perform, 80% of the season, then at this point I could be using those resources somewhere else.
Right. I know. I definitely think that's spot on right there. Mike Trout, I think if he does not retire and whether he's traded or leaves from Anaheim, it's definitely going to impact the type of deal that he gets. He was one of the guys that, like we said, got the lucrative deal. He was like 12 years, I think just over $400 million for Mike Trout.
Bro, that's a lot of money.
Something like that, yeah.
He was the highest paid at one point, no?
Yeah. So if he sticks around and is able to, stick it out and not have to retire early, I definitely don't see him getting one of these big lucrative deals like we've been seeing, for the past big names to get.
Right. Well, we'll see what happens with Mike Trout.
Another interesting situation, man.
Another interesting situation. Let's see how the season turns out for the Angels. You think they'll make the playoffs?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah.
Angels tough. They're you're dealing with the Astros and everything in your division. Still, I mean, we're approaching August right now. Angels, they're sitting in second to last. They're like right above the A's, bro. I think they're tied, like in terms of they're like 30 games out of first place, the A's and the Angels. So, and like you said, you got the Rangers in that division as well, who are like a tough, up and coming team. Seattle is another team, and Houston, of course, we know what they've done over the past few years. So, right now, as it sits, I don't see them making the playoffs.
Damn, we might be seeing the end of Mike Trout.
Mike Trout area may have come to an end pretty soon. We'll keep tabs on that. That's pretty much it for the baseball portion of the episode. We got to take it back over to the NFL, man. You got the Niner zip up on, so we're going. That's where we're going right now. Training camp has officially started. We are on day 2 today of training camp. But before we get into that, the 49ers, I wouldn't even say front office because it was Lynch and Shanahan met with Jimmy and his camp, have officially excused him from camp. And that last week, I think the reports came out that they agreed to let him seek a trade and find a team elsewhere. Um, do you? I mean, I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but do you think this is a good move by Shanahan and the Niners by releasing him from camp or dismissing him from camp?
I think, man, look, man, the Jimmy era, uh, I will be forever grateful with Jimmy. Like he's going out the front door for me. Like thank you, Jimmy. He brought us up from a dark time,
Mm-hmm.
brought us hope. So when you're a player and you bring hope to a franchise, bro, like you just revitalize the whole fan base, the team, the players. So it's just a shame that it was pretty much injuries that haunted Jimmy, man, and never, it never let him reach his full potential. In my point, because the times he was healthy, fully healthy, and not, I feel like healthy and not afraid of being out there, man, we were going to the Super Bowl. We were reaching a NFC Championship game. But I think that time has passed, and I don't think Jimmy's gonna get any better than that. So I think it was a good move, excusing him from camp. Like, hey man, like you don't have to be here. Um, but for me, the most important thing that I wanted to hear was uh, when Shanahan came out yesterday and was like, "This is Trey's team. Jimmy knows this is Trey's team. The team knows this is Trey's team." Um, and as a fan, I'm like, okay, it's done. The Jimmy saga has, it looks like it's coming to an end, and now we can focus on our franchise quarterback that we got. The team is rallying behind him, and I'm just ready, man. Like I don't know what's gonna happen with Jimmy. I think he's gonna get cut. That's just my best bet. And who am I gonna look at, bro? I'm gonna look at Jimmy's freaking agent. He's the one. I feel like he's the one who ruined it for everything. You know,
Kanye,
yeah, Don Yee and Camp. I think he's the one. If I was Jimmy, bro, I'm like, dude, you freaking, like all these other quarterbacks got taken, and he couldn't because he was hurt. He
right,
got a surgery.
right.
Like you couldn't wait, like bro, like sign with a different team and then get the surgery after that. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so I don't know, man. The thing with Jimmy, it was a good era in San Francisco, but I'm just ready for Trey season, man.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like you said, forever grateful for everything Jimmy brought to the franchise. Um, as much as it may not seem like it, he will be missed. Like you said, for everything that he did for us.
Yeah,
Took us to NFC championships and a Super Bowl appearance. We're right there. Should have had it. But yeah, man. I mean, like you said, I think the good thing is that Shanahan publicly came out and said, "Hey, this is Trey's team now. He's QB1 going forward." And I think one part that people are kind of missing about dismissing him from camp is uh causing any confusion in the locker room. You don't want Jimmy to come in the locker room and of course, the rapport that he had with those guys and like, hey Jimmy, what's going on? Are they going to create the thought of like, hey, is Jimmy going to have a chance to compete? Is this Trey's team? What's going on?
right,
So I think it was smart by them to kind of dismiss him from camp. So the headline is not like, oh, Jimmy Garoppolo is not showing up. What's going to happen? So I think that was a great move by the front office and Shanahan on their part. I will say though, I as excited as I am for the Trey Lance era to begin. He had a few games under his belt. We've already seen the knee injury and a finger injury. I don't remember if it was the thumb or the index finger that nobody knew about. For the finger that he had to have surgery. No one knew about that. Um, I will say it's concerning, man, for playing as little as he did and having two like big injuries already.
right.
With Jimmy being gone, there's really no security blanket. We got Nate Sudfeld as QB2, so that's one thing that kind of worries me. And I hope that Jimmy can stay healthy. I mean, sorry, Trey can stay healthy because if not, there's
Right.
really no. I don't trust Nate Sudfeld. I don't know about you. I mean, Nate Sudfeld, we got what's his name? What's the other guy that we drafted? Uh,
Brock Purdy.
yes. Are you going to trust him to take the reins over? I don't think so. So that's one thing that
I
scares me
I
right
don't
now.
think so. I mean, Yeah. So the injuries with Trey is concerning. I did hear good things about Brock Purdy. They even said that Brock Purdy could be QB2. I
Okay.
heard that in these first 2 days of 49er training camp that Brock Purdy can throw the ball. Um, but yeah, the injuries are concerning with Trey. Um, Hopefully he learned from like the mistakes that he made in the very few games that he played in last season. Um, but I mean, we already had the injuries with Jimmy, so
True.
I
True.
think I just feel like Trey gives us that extra push, that mobility, the arm strength. Um, I just want to see what's gonna happen, man. And I think I like you said, I like that Shanahan and Lynch came out and nipped it in the butt. Like, hey, this is Trey's team right now. No need to talk because then like all the players, will have these concerns or like then the media starts getting in and it's just it would be a toxic relationship. And the Niners have always had this toxic relationship with quarterbacks going back to like Steve Young and Joe Montana. Think about it, bro. A QB1 and a QB2 who were both Super Bowl champions.
Mm-hmm.
So now that I don't want to say it was toxic, but everything around it, the media and the fan base, because you have the Jimmy stands, and then you have the Jimmy haters,
Yep.
like, and then you have people like us who are in the middle who are like, yeah, we support Jimmy, but we also get on Jimmy's back for messing up. So
Mm-hmm.
just just we're just gonna wash our hands here and have Trey QB1.
With Trey, do you see? Of course, you're going to be like growing pains and uh, moments that he goes through with the interceptions. Of course, as a Niner fan, you better expect interceptions. He's
Oh yeah.
still learning how to read a defense in the NFL level. It's going to happen. Um, do you expect? I would say not super immediate, but success from Trey, or do you think it's going to be? Because we do have a tough schedule. Do you think it's going to be, maybe like an 8-8 or 9-8, 8-9?
So I think we talked about this in the first and second seasons of the show that we had. That Niners demand excellence.
Right.
We you trained us to be champions, and we demand nothing less. People were happy with just making it to the NFC Championship game last year. I'm like, no, no, no. We wanted the Super Bowl. We wanted all of it.
Mm-hmm.
So is he gonna get a pass for being a like quote unquote rookie? No, man. I mean, we drafted you third overall. Yeah. Be prepared for interceptions, like you said. Um, but I just hope that if there are those interceptions, they're not like dumb interceptions. Like Jimmy's interceptions were dumb.
Right.
Like I need the opposing cornerback or linebacker to make a very good interception.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, I mean,
So
I was asking.
there's gonna be growing pains. But
No, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
uh huh.
I was just saying I
No,
was
sorry.
out.
Oh.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Go, Chris. Go.
Sorry. I was just a little confused. I was just saying I was asking because uh, just small conversation at work. Raider fan, of course, had to be Raider fan.
Of
We were talking about
course.
football. I'm saying I was excited for the season start. We're coming up on August, and he was like, "Oh, why are you so excited for it? Niners are going to do nothing." I was like, "Well, we have a tough schedule, but I think we're going to put up a fight. I think it'll be entertaining." And he's like, "You guys still don't have a quarterback." And I'm like, "Bro, we have Trey Lance. They've already announced him as QB1." He's like, "Yeah, but he ain't going to do nothing." And I'm like, "Really, bro?" Like, I told him I was like, "You're gonna have a better season than Derek Carr." And he's like, "No way, no shot."
Until it happens, bro. Like when it will happen. Um, but there's people just like that. Like, oh yeah, he hasn't proved anything, and I get it. But if you have people around like the media saying, "Hey, this guy's gonna be a superstar,"
Mm-hmm.
if his own teammates are like, "Oh, this guy's gonna be a superstar,"
Yep.
then I can only trust their word. So I'm gonna go with like, "Hey, he's gonna be a superstar." You know what I mean? And I have the Niners going at 10-7
Okay.
this season.
Okay. I haven't really gotten too deep into uh, record predictions yet. I'll get there shortly with preseason coming up. But I mean,
Yeah.
that's a fair prediction right there. Yeah, like I said, we do have a tough schedule, but I mean, hey, it is what it is. I think the kid's gonna have a chip on his shoulder, and we'll see what
He
happens.
will.
I think he's gonna have
I'm juiced for it.
he's in year two already. People are gonna say, hey, uh you had a year to prepare and learn, and it's your time to shine. I think he's gonna have a lot of harsh critics, but like you said, you have people in the media like Louis Riddick, man, is saying, hey, do not underestimate Trey Lance. I think one thing that people don't realize is like when one year at the college season, he called plays, man, and he was in a very similar offense as Kyle Shanahan's offense. So don't underestimate
There
him.
you go. And Louis Riddick knows how to identify talent, bro. He identified Patrick Mahomes.
Yep, exactly. Um,
So I'm ready for it, man.
no, yeah, it'll definitely be interesting. Before we wrap up the show, I wanted to talk about Debo. A little, update. He is present at camp. He is not partaking in the team drills. He's not with the wide receivers. He's kind of working on. Just seems like conditioning on his own on the side. Um, do you think we're close to seeing a extension for Debo?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think this is was anticipated. The deal is not signed yet, so Debo's gonna be on the side.
Right.
It's just like any other typical superstar on a team that they haven't signed their contract yet. They're gonna be on the side. They're not gonna go full 100%. So nothing. I'm not concerned at all. That contract, that pen to paper, should be. I want to say within the next week or so.
I think so too. I think so. Like we said, we saw DK Metcalf also doing something similar in Seattle, just training on the side, but in attendance. Signed a deal today. I think it was like $58 million deal. I
For
have
DK?
yeah. Let me see. Right here. So we got AJ Brown, 4 years, 100 mil.
Mm-hmm.
DK, 3 years, 72 mil. Terry McLaurin, 3 years, 71 mil. Hunter Renfro, 2 years, 32 million. These are all guys from the same draft class, second round wide receivers.
Okay.
You got two more. I think the next domino to fall is Deontay Johnson, and then we'll see Debo.
I think Debo might be the highest paid.
Yeah, I think that's what he's waiting for. He's waiting to see what all these guys get, and he's going to say, okay, let's say obviously we know Deontay Johnson isn't going to get more than AJ Brown, I don't think. And you say, hey, AJ Brown got
No,
4 years 100, Debo, give me 4 years 120, something like that.
it's gonna happen, and pay him, bro. Pay him the money. I think he's one of the best players on our team, so you gotta keep him around for some time.
And then we got a quick glimpse of it in that the home game against the Houston Texans last year of what
That's right.
Trey Lance and Debo Samuel can be. So I'm excited.
Man, I'm excited.
Debo's been sitting out. So in the meantime, bro, he's been working. Trey Lance has been working with Brandon Ayuk, dude. Their chemistry is going to be insane, my guy.
And I heard Ayuk is eclipsing what he did last year.
Oh yeah,
So
for sure.
He's on a path to be great. Bro, this season's gonna be good. It looks like the Niners have a chip on their shoulder.
Like we talked about in past episodes, Brandon Ayuk did great things at Arizona State, and like I said, there really hasn't been anyone to throw him the ball. So Brandon Ayuk can be a Odell Beckham Jr. type player, man.
Bro, I'm ready.
I'm
ready for it.
In like a smaller Julio Jones body.
Wow.
So, and Julio, man, freaking signing with the Bucks.
Oh my god, it was more than expected. I think.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That should be interesting.
Yeah, I mean I think we are like a week or two away from the Hall of Fame game, which always kicks off the preseason.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like the Raiders and the Jags this year.
Is it really?
I believe so. Hall of Fame game. It's August 4th.
Oh, that's next week.
Yeah. So that's the Hall of Fame game, and then we start preseason week 1, week 2, week 3.
Oh, let's go.
And then we're in full swing, bro. We're a little bit over a month away from NFL kickoff, bro, of actual regular season. So it's right around the corner. We'll be ready. We have plenty of topics. We'll get back to our weekly predictions, our pick'ems.
I can't wait.
Best time of year, man. So
definitely.
Yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up today's show. Another short but simple episode on a few important topics. Go ahead.
Before we end the show, Chris, I wanted to ask you this question: what for you has more popularity, the home run derby or the dunk contest, the NBA dunk contest?
Like my preference, or just
your preference?
I gotta say dunk contest.
Really?
But I mean, I don't know. See, I'm thinking of like dunk contest the way it was, like the Zach Levine, the Aaron
Yeah.
Gordon dunk contest. To me, that's more entertaining.
Look. I agree with you, but I feel like that's where it peaked.
True, true, true. Because
Look,
you got the home run contest this year, but they put Albert Pujols in there, bro. Come on.
yeah. Look, but I'll tell you the home run derby, bro. As me as you know me, I'm not the biggest baseball fan or
Right.
baseball guy, but when the home run derby comes on, bro, I am locked in.
No, yeah, it's definitely a fun event.
I am locked in for because yeah, they might throw in like the pool hole, but you got some other guys who are Soto sluggers, Judge, Shohei, they bring in these big guys. I feel like the dunk contest peaked as Zach Levine and Aaron Gordon. Bro, honestly, I don't want to see. I don't need to see JTA. I don't need to see these. I don't even know who was on. I don't even know who was in the dunk contest.
Yeah, yeah. And if you think about it too, like one big topic is like, man, look at all the stuff LeBron does like on his, his Instagram reels, and it's on Sports Center, and they're like, why was he never in a dunk contest, bro?
Never.
Like, all that stuff. You got, like you said, you got the big names. You got Soto who won it. You got the rookie, bro, Rodriguez, put
Yep.
like 30 something home runs in the first round this year. So
Pete Alonso.
yes, Pete Alonso went back to back. I thought I thought he was in the three-peat this year,
Yeah.
but
See,
Rodriguez took him out.
this is what I like about the MLB and the home run derby. They bring in the heavy hitters.
Yeah.
Like they brought in Judge a couple years ago. Stanton. I want to see the stars. Like right now, for example, why isn't John Morant doing the dunk contest?
Exactly.
He should be doing the dunk contest.
Yep.
Zion, why isn't Zion doing the dunk contest?
Yeah, you see all these Instagram posts of Zion like in training or
I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to see some reserve point guard from the Orlando Magic dunking Tim's. I don't need to. I don't want to see. I don't need to see that.
Yeah, bro. You're like, I know, like Cole Anthony.
I'm like, bro, see, I don't even know his name.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh man, I feel like the slam dunk contest has kind of, in my opinion, lost his lackluster a little bit. And like I said, I'm locked in for the home run derby every season. So hopefully the slam dunk contest comes back with a vengeance next season. Because
Yeah. No, I will say though, like in the NBA players' defense, they do say like you can get hurt doing slam dunks, stuff like that. But in baseball, you're doing hitting, like you hit the ball every day. So I don't know, but they still, man, they should be out there competing. Like you said, John Morant, LeBron, Zion, all those guys should be out there. I mean, Zach Levine, like they're not going to let Zach Levine do it anymore. He's like, oh, I was on my last one. Like, so.
Defend your title, bro.
Defend your title, bro. Keep going.
Exactly.
Look at what's his name? Like I said, Pete Alonso. He's in there again.
And he was doing some Russell Wilson meditation shit.
Oh, I know. He was in there in the locker room. Like, well, look like the Undertaker now.
The meditation.
Yeah, bro. That boy's out there like this.
Yeah, dude. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Doing the dead weights or like the lifts, whatever. Oh my god, this guy's crazy. Anyways, cool little topic before we head out.
Yes, sir. Wraps up the show. We appreciate you guys for listening, man. I think that's it for today, unless you got anything else.
Nothing much. Let's watch some sports these next 2 weeks, and I'll see you in 2 weeks, brother.
Yes, sir. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Check out our channel, check out the TikTok, and we will see you guys next episode. Peace.
Peace, brother.